Welcome to SEC Softball, presented by Regions Bank. Let's get this Sunday started on SEC Network with the third and final game of the series from Jane B. Moore Field as Florida takes on Auburn. Gators have taken the first two games of this series, all time in school history behind Kelsey Stewart. Little tap. It's going to be hard to throw her out, and there it is. But now she is past.
He's still up there in Ribby's fourth in NCAA right now, but
going to get the out there. It does advance Falby down to second base. Shoemaker.
The umpires are coming together, and they are going to call this a double play. So a line out that it looks like catches from Rose Roach, and then she doubles off Kendra Falby. This is big for Auburn right out of the gate.
But she's walked 7 times through the first 2 games and been hit by pitch twice. So she puts this in play. Shallow left and coming in. KK McCrary makes the basket catch. Well, it wasn't a 3-up.
The gaps a little bit when you lose that type of depth in innings.
Deep count. Tresvik walks. Oh, the transfer from
Auburn. Auburn.
There goes the runner. Throw goes down to second base and got her. Tresvik caught for the 3rd time this year in 15 steal attempts.
I can respect just that, like quick, like little swipe and up and showing the umpire, hey, I got it. And sometimes that's the little ingredient that'll show an umpire, but I think she gets her hand in there, Mark. I don't see the tag being placed on the jersey or the right hand. I think it might be overturned.
Yeah, so they do overturn it that we've had. I'm not even sure if the one on the top of the first was reviewed, but that ball hit deep towards left field by Peralta, and it's off the scoreboard. Well, the start that the Tigers were looking for, they get an overturn caught stealing on review, and now Peralta, her 7th home run of the season, makes it 2-0.
Perfect timing for Nelia Peralta. This is just right down the middle, unleashes so pretty through the zone. Almost hits herself on the scoreboard. And listen, everything is about momentum. Isis Tresvik knew it when she slid into second. And Kara Hammock hasn't given up that many home runs. That's only the 4th on the year that she has given up. And I like the attack back against the freshman Annalie Adams. She gets a shift when you are struggling.
Bounce to third, fielded there. Cahalan throws across. 2 down. A record in those 7 previous games when the opponent has scored first. Back towards the circle. Hammock takes the out at first, but the big shot. Homer for Nelia Peralta, open the scoring. Walsh grounds that through the hole and into left center field. Leadoff batter on base for the 2nd consecutive inning.
It's very tough at times.
Soft ground ball to second, and Roach able to get it to Peralta, so they get the lead runner Walsh on the force out. Halen reaches on a fielder's choice. That last graphic. Mia Williams hesitated for a moment. She knows she got hit on the elbow guard there, and I think she thought maybe the plate umpire was going to tell her to stay, but he said, no, you take your bait. Going 2023. Now in her 2nd year with the Gators. Little check swing roller out to short. Peralta is going to have to get it to first, and not in time. Just not hit hard enough to even get it out at first base. So an infield hit for Otis and loads the 1-2 pitch. Garrett jammed her, rolled to third. They're going to come home for the force out. So let's watch here. You got bases loaded. Ground ball to third. Her foot's on the base, so now the force is off. So now it's a tag play. And you see the left with the spike. They kind of come up there, and so definitely Wohler's touched third. So the force is off at the plate.
And now it's a tag. Plenty of time before the ball gets there, and Kenley Cahalan, I don't love the spikes up going into slide, because when we're doing that, sometimes it seems like it's with the intent to maybe hurt someone. And that's probably why Coach Malveaux was so hot about it. Because listen, when we're going up that hard, that hot, you can hurt someone. And Cahalan, could have been a lot different situation.
Needs to be called out on strikes. And Hammock has come right back and set down the first to Troy. Roach had a big game. 3 RBIs, had a triple. Back towards the circle. That's gobbled up by the second baseman, Mia Williams, and it's 3 up, 3 down in the Tigers' second series for Holtorf, batting for the first time today. It's out to the right side, and that's played on the short hop, and no chance for Roach as Leck went after it as well, so there was nobody there to cover the base. Field hit for Holtorf, so she's hit safely in all 3 games of the series, and that's bunted by Falby, and Wohlers crashes into Guerin. And I don't know if they would have had a play anyway at first base with Falby. Pulled to first. Leck able to get the out at first base. It does advance the runner. That ball hit pretty sharply by Shoemaker. A productive out for her. It advances, take the left-handed bat of Erickson away. Granted, you're going to face a righty in Reagan Walsh, but it's Reagan Walsh. I mean, it's first-team All-SEC player. Showing you the length of the lineup for the Gators, but is this more of a let's face the righty?
When that curveball and pitches on the inner half get a little bit too loose on the inner half when she hits hitters.
And Walsh makes him pay and may give him the lead. It's all the way to the fence where it's taken by Tresvik. 2 runs come in to tie the game, and Walsh jumps right on the first pitch and says.
Reagan Walsh swinging early in the count. This is up, elevated, almost like right in her wheelhouse, which is an interesting spot to put it with Isis Tresvik, who's pinched towards center field. It's almost like you would want the opposite. Whether
maybe, as you said, try to spin that curveball a few times and see if you can get it out there. And that's into right field, and it's going to give the Gators the lead. Erickson comes in. Williams. And the positive reinforcement there from Kate Malveaux, trying to get S.G. Guerin and Tigers through this inning. It's down low, it's ball 4, and that'll load the bases. She led the SEC in hitting. Rips it into left field. Walsh had to wait. She's going to clear and score. So a hard line drive RBI single for Corby Otis. Brings in the 4th run of the inning for the Gators.
And what I could appreciate about this at bat, Mark, is she drops to 0-2 and works it back to a 2-2 count to get a pitch that she can do some damage with. She doesn't sniff the changeup by S.J. Guerin. She doesn't swing at anything out of her shoes. So key for the confidence of S.J. Guerin.
Ground ball to first, going to throw home. That's a force out. So Leck needed a extra half second to come up with that one after an initial fumble, but gets the force out and a big one for Auburn at the plate.
This is a really good stick by Amelia Leck. You see her pulled in, obviously Rose Roach towards the base, a hot shot, sticks. Makes the throw to get.
If you're Auburn, you're trying to avoid a 5, 6, 7 run inning here and keep this a 2-run game now. And they're going to do just that as Guerin gets the strikeout, but 10 batters come to the plate.
Find a way to get back in this count. But
wow.
4 pitches, not even close.
Tresvik out to short, shoveled a second out, and that is a double play. Holtorf, Mia Williams, Reagan Walsh, 6-4-3. Just like that, base is empty, 2 outs. That is in play on the infield right near second base. Riley Holtorf makes the catch. Well, Ava Brown comes in and makes quick work to get out of after that leadoff walk. And we finished 3.
They really pour it on.
Falby chops it right over the head of Wohlers and into left field. She is 3 for 3. Auburn.
Yes.
Yesterday, 2 for 5 with an RBI. Well, here she is with a third hit already, and is going to swipe the base. She is now 31 of 32 in stolen base attempts this year. Shoemaker puts it on the ground to the right side. That'll advance Falby to third as Roach makes the play to first. You know, as fast as Falby is,
Yet again, what makes this so tough is you have 8 players that have at least a home run.
that was smoke right to Roach. Reaches up, makes the catch, hung on to it. Crowd like that. She has a big smile. That's the second out.
And finally gets pitched to and just rips. Absolute laser. Rose Roach had to check her mitt again to just make sure that it didn't lace right through. It was such a hot shot. Have that fear factor in the lineup of almost anyone can step up and go yard.
That's whacked into right field, but waiting on it is Isis Tresvik. Well, after the leadoff base hit by Falby, she gets stranded into the home half of the 4th. First pitch swinging, ground ball, deep, short, long throw, and plenty of time. Play made by Riley Holtorf. One pitch, 1 out, gets Adams to start the 4th.
Is anyone going to be Duke? I
think there's some SEC teams that can have a say in that. That's out to Falby at center field. I think whichever come in here and set down the first 2 quickly here in the 4th. Shallow left, that's going to drop. Otis able to stay with it and keep it from taking a weird bounce down the line.
Like, I really think of Leck as someone had some good home run pop last year.
Little flare there, but that's going to stay up long enough for Falby to come in and make the catch. That'll be the first runner stranded.
She was able to put up, like, no matter what, the season you put up this year will be a disappointment in comparison to the numbers last year because they were that good.
That was hit right on the screws. And Abby Smith was shading a bit towards right center. Had to come back towards dead.
Forced her to swing a little bit earlier in the counts and made a little bit of an adjustment.
Diving and tip picked up by Peralta after it deflected off Wohlers. And unable to get me handed as they've been 2 of the last 3 years, including last year. This is certainly a team offensively. That is a bullet from Lisenby, and they throw out Mia Williams, who had stolen her first 8. Otis takes ball 4 outside, and it will extend the Gators' 5th here.
And I was such a fan of
Taylor in the Gainesville Super before a run in Oklahoma City ended by OU. Well, Rainey gets her counterpart, striking out Ava Brown.
I always love getting the inside scoop.
Yeah.
What they're thinking.
And on our last mic'd up Monday, just kind of an offshoot of that at Tennessee last Monday.
A little bit short of that can create that power. And then you have someone that's 6'1", 6'2", like Carlin Pickens, that creates so much power and whip through her motion. It was a historic job of hitting good spots, quick innings.
Able to get that past the diving Holtorf and into left field. 2-out hit for Abby Smith. Just walked and scored in the first on the 2-run homer by Peralta. Towards second base and run down there by Mia Williams. So a 2-out hit, which is the reason she's thrown 143 pitches on the weekend coming into this. She gets the ground ball out to Wohlers at third. It's Kelsey Stewart, 357. So that's a pretty lofty goal to try to get, but don't put it past Falvey. Did that hit her while out of the batter's box? It did, and she is called out.
Tough to go up against.
That's up the middle. Didn't exactly square it up, but put it in a good spot and hit it just hard enough to get it into right center field.
My teammates, so just mad respect to Erickson.
That ball's hit sharply. A backhand attempt by Leck, but it gets through into right field. As hard as Erickson's harder hit ball that got through. Which, by the way, are the first 2-out hits for the Gators today. Rosenby can't prevent that one from going to the backstop when the runners do advance. Got her to swing, but it's a live ball. Throw's going to go to first, and just in time to complete the strikeout. Lisenby threw a bullet to first base to win the. Big 3-2 pitch to Peralta. And she pops it up out in the center field. It's, for a moment, it looked like Falvey wasn't sure where it was, and that ball carried pretty well all the way out. Annalie Adams jumping on the first pitch. That's to deep left, right at the fence, and that one's caught back to the wall by Corby Otis. So back-to-back pitches hit to the track. That one almost out to left. Ball's hit well to the alley in left center, and that gets out. Three well-hit balls by the Tigers, and it's the third one that does get over the fence and makes it a one-run game.
I can't tell you how good this probably feels if you are KK McCrary. She had one hit in her last 31 at-bats. So for this to happen in this type of moment, trying to fire up the squad, but that just probably feels like she could take a breath at last.
Wohlers is grounded to the pitcher and singled to left. And on 5 pitches, she walks. Brown, who kind of cruised through several innings.
6 try to close this out for Florida.
And the first one slips out of the hand, and that's going to allow Wohlers just to scoot down. Towards left center, hit well, but run down by Falvey up against the fence to end the inning. Well, all 3 outs made by the Tigers in that inning. Sharply to center. That's one to right center field pretty well, but fading. And a headlong diving catch by Isis Tresvik. It's down to just a run. 3-1 pitch coming. At the end of the bat, went past Rainey, and Roach cheating up the middle, able to make the play. So they were tied. Chopped to second. Roach on to first. That's 4 scoreless innings of relief. Took the lead today. Homer early from Peralta, but this has popped up. Caught by Mia Williams. By the way, great baseball game coming up next here on SEC Network. We'll get to you.
Pressure, trying to control the emotions that you feel when you're out there to be able to just still hone in on executing your pitch.
Pulling the string again. Tigers trying to stay alive. To third. Up with that. Throw to first from Cahalan, and the Gators hang on and win it 4-3, and they sweep the 3-game series at Auburn.
Yeah, I think the pitching for Florida, Ava Brown did a nice job coming in, and then Oxley closing the door. Florida looks good.
So the Gators with that win, now 6-3 in conference play. Auburn drops to 0-12. Time for baseball. Let's send you to Vandy, Arkansas. Victor Rojas, Mike Rooney. For Danielle, I'm Mark. So long.